been said, I would like to welcome everyone back to Cringe Court. We go to Am I the Asshole Filtered. I think we go to Filtered. And here, you'll see firsthand exactly how it happens. In in Cringe Court, we go to r/Am I the Asshole, and we take a look at some of the most insane positions taken by the most insane people on the planet, aka Redditors. Okay, so that's not the right size. There, okay. So let's see. First things first. Let's try and find a good one to start with. Am I the asshole for parking wherever oh wait, I'm supposed to do this. Yes. Wherever a spot is open in my complex, even after my neighbor confronted me. Honestly, I'm gonna have to hear about this. I love and simultaneously hate parking lot etiquette. Can I tell you? Also, let's be a little bit bigger. We were so much bigger in the other one. Here, we'll do that. And then where's... Chat, you can be right there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Simultaneously, I love and hate parking lot etiquette. Am I the asshole of parking wherever a spot is open in my complex, even after my neighbor confronted me? Yes, I think that you are the asshole, because it sounds... I mean, Reddit says you're not the asshole, which is a good indication to say that you are the asshole. Because Reddit hates it whenever you're trying to be respectful to a stranger. You're supposed to be evil to everyone you meet at all times, anywhere. That's how Reddit likes to behave. But it sounds, you know... Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the other person's the asshole. Maybe they have, like, a really, really dumb reason that you shouldn't park in this spot in particular. But, it's... I don't know. Most apartments I go to, or maybe I've only been to one in my entire life, but I feel like they have, like, assigned parking, right? Like, oh, this is parking for room 112. This is parking for room 112. This is also parking for room 112. If you don't live in room 112, you're shit out of luck, buddy. Am I the asshole for parking wherever a spot is open in my complex, even after my neighbors confronted me? So I moved about 3 months ago, and everything has been great until this past week. I've been having such a wonderful life. Everything has been going so well for me. I won the lottery 6 times. It's a little townhome community where there is a parking lot in the middle surrounded by the 4 wide townhome buildings. We call that the Panopticon. Anyone else read about the Panopticon? It has one entrance and an exit road, and one side not lined with homes. When moving... Okay, I don't know if this is going to be important. Start taking notes. Make sure you're jotting down this on your maps, chat. When moving, I specifically asked about parking because my household would have 3 cars. We were told there are way more spots than townhomes, no limits on cars, and no assigned spots. Okay. It sounds like you're not the asshole then. Since moving in, my household has rotated parking spots to wherever one is open. Sometimes there's one right at our door, sometimes all the way across the lot, or sometimes in one of the side spaces behind the other buildings in the complex. With the way the parking lot is set up, there's not a situation where each unit has a space right at their door. There are multiple units that don't have a spot in front because they are on the corners. Okay, so this person is not the asshole. You know what? I'm starting to see the writing on the wall. I'm starting to see that this has happened to me before because I've had to park, like, on the street, right? And there's only street parking. And then somebody will be like, hey, just so you know, like, this is my house that you're parking in front of. And I'm like, yeah, just so you know, this is public parking. Anyway, just this past week, one of the neighbors pulled up long honking after dark, and when I went to look out the windows, started yelling at me for parking in the spots at the back of my unit. I kept my voice at normal volume and explained there's no assigned parking and I park wherever a spot is open. I kept my voice at normal volume. Alright. Even far in the back sometimes as she continued to yell. From what... See, I've already depicted you as the angry Wojak and myself as the calm and easy demeanored Wojak. It's over. From what I gathered, she was mad that my wife's car was parked next to mine because we were taking up all the close spaces and parked there all the time. I'll admit, the cars hadn't moved over the weekend because one is my work truck, but as I said, we constantly park wherever there is open space. I closed my door and did not move a car for her. Okay. That's reasonable enough. It's in the middle of the night. She can park somewhere else. I brushed off that encounter after talking to other neighbors and hearing she is constantly trying to direct neighbors into other parking spots even before I moved in, but another encounter happened today. This time, it was different. It was different neighbors from the farther perpendicular building. I had parked on that road because there were no spots in front of my building like multiple times before. A couple I had never seen before, perhaps a ghost, came and knocked on my door, told me I parked in the spot on their lease, and confirmed it was my car by saying the make and model. I explained I was told there was no assigned spots when I moved in, and the couple mentioned that the confrontation I had with their neighbor about parking before. I moved my car for them because they were actually calm and semi-polite, but I am annoyed. I guess I just want outside opinions if I am the asshole or if the first neighbor is. Am I wrong for parking 2 cars in front of my unit? Am I wrong for... listen, I don't know. No, it sounds like, I don't know, maybe they were, you know, used to a certain lifestyle, which is specifically parking directly in front of their house. Not a thing that everyone is, you know, guaranteed. It's not an entitlement. Yeah, this is stupid. This is the dumb case. You know, I'm not sorry for having read it, but it is an open and shut case, which means, of course, I'm going to go and sort by controversial and see somebody insane. Having 3 cars for one household is ridiculous. You're the asshole. Why do you get to decide how many cars a household has? I mean, listen, I didn't want to say having 3 cars for one household is ridiculous because, you know, how many people are living in the household? Some households have like a dozen people in it. There could be like 20 people living in this house. I don't know. You know, I wasn't gonna... If it's one person, 3 cars is ridiculous. But I'm gonna assume that they have like a very large family or something. I don't think you're the asshole, but honestly, this can quickly be solved by reviewing your HOA's parking rules. It's not an HOA, it's an apartment complex. You're the asshole. If you know you won't be using your work truck all weekend, give someone else a chance to park close to their door. Yes, it's legal to park all 3 cars as close to your unit as possible, but it's still rude. He said he's on call 24/7 with work truck and parked personal car in the area with no apartments, so basically doing what you said, just with flipped cars. I mean, he didn't say that in the post, but I guess he's saying that in the comments. Whatever. Whatever. Fuck you, that one's not making it into a YouTube video. Say something funny. Say something interesting for me to laugh at. Am I the ass for not letting my 1-year-old stepniece into my room and for pulling her high chair away from the table? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It sounds like you're torturing this tiny little baby. And I assume, by the way, that Reddit is going to be like, no, we hate children. You should have stepped on it. Yeah, okay, not the asshole, of course. I'm going with you're the asshole. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it, though. I, 21 NB, live with my mom and stepfather. My room is messy, largely because I like proper storage for my books and belongings. I also keep my door open for my cat, Boris. Didn't need to know, as his food, water, and litter box are in my room. I live in the cat's toilet. The issue is my stepsister's visits with her 1-year-old daughter, Allie, fake name. Are you sure you're 21 years old? You're typing like you're 12. Allie loves Boris, but he is clearly uncomfortable with her loud, eager approaches and always runs away. Since he retreats to my room, she follows him in there. Allie touches everything, grabbing trinkets, going for my plushies. Many are expensive limited edition or deeply sentimental, by the way. By the way, I have a $500 life-size Arcanine plushie. She shouldn't be touching it, and not just because it's expensive. There is a health risk involved. And risking damage to my school laptop or textbooks. I'm worried she'll break something or choke. On your textbooks? You'll break your textbooks? I've repeatedly told my family I don't want Allie in my room. Okay, well, what are you gonna do about it? She's a baby. You could close the door. That's one thing you could do, but no, I can't close my door because my cat Boris needs to be able to go in and out of my room at all times, every day, at every moment. Someone needs to put that human being on a leash, though, apparently. My mom dismisses me, saying I should just clean my room, which is difficult without proper storage. Maybe you have too many things, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I'm getting distracted. There's hypocrisy, too. She wants me to keep Allie away from Boris's blankets due to the cat hair, but has no issue with her rolling on my fur-covered bed. I think this person might be neurodivergent. Once I closed my door to create a safe space for Boris and protect my things, Allie cried because she couldn't get to the cat, and my mom acted like I was being cruel. The final straw was a mealtime incident. An incident. Allie constantly tests boundaries by putting her feet on the table. I calmly told her if she did it again, I'd move her chair. She did, so I followed through, pulling her high chair back so her feet couldn't reach. She cried. Later, my mom criticized my attitude, saying I should have at least smiled to make it seem nicer. Okay, this is also a stupid case. Why? These are not disagreements that people have. This is ridiculous. And I guess that's why it's cringe court, right? Because these people have no actual issues in their entire life. I was at the ER today. What fucking excuse do you losers have? I believe discipline should be calm and consistent, not turned into a game. Okay, well, listen. There's a reason why. I don't know. Maybe no one in no one on Reddit should be a parent. Maybe that's what the solution is. Forced sterilization of Redditors? Maybe this is something that we can get all sides of the political spectrum on board with? Now I'm being painted as the bad guy, duh, for setting boundaries. I don't hate Allie, I just am a Redditor and I hate all children. Am I the ass for trying to set a boundary? I should probably clarify that my room is messy in the sense that things are untidy on my desk and besides tables, the floor is mostly clean. Floor is mostly lava, so Allie's not allowed on it. I do vacuum clean it to try and not build up litter that Boris spreads, and the bed sheets are changed every 2 weeks. I'm 21 and still in high school. Yes, I got held back and changed courses a few times. This is my last year of high school. It's also a common thing for young legal adults to still be taking classes finishing their studies in high school. Is this true? Where does this take place? Where does it take place that there's a 21-year-old that's still in high school? Do they mean college? I'm gonna assume they mean college. I don't know, but they also said they got held back and changed courses a few times. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. There's nothing I can say about this. After getting paid for my internship, I will look into shelves and ways to properly store my things. They don't have any shelves or tables or anything, so they just put everything on the floor? They're 21 and they're in high school? Allie isn't just 1 year old, really closer to 2 at the time. Huge difference, as we all know. Allie lives with a bunny and a big dog, though the bunny is barely out of the cage and the dog is also heavily supervised with Allie because it is of a potentially dangerous dog breed. Okay, I wish that they had told me that this was going to be a controversial... I wish that they had told me that this was going to be a controversial post before I opened it. They need to open up with the fact that they're 21 years old and still in high school. Then I would have said, fuck that, we're not reading this one. Because I'm not legally allowed to make fun of this one. Am I the asshole for considering going to an NFL football game on Christmas Day? Who fucking cares? I, 34 female, am a diehard, the star is tattooed on me Dallas Cowboys fan. Okay, well, you're a loser. No, whatever, are you the asshole or are you not the asshole? Whichever one it is, you're the asshole. That's all I'm saying. Am I the asshole? Dog poop bag in trash before pickup. What a series of words. Dog poop bag in trash before pickup. Dog poop bag in trash before pickup? I was just thinking a little bit of dog poop bag in trash before pickup. I'm not reading this one, but It is fun to say dog poop bag and trash before pickup. Am I the ass for using a disabled person for my own benefit? All right, let's go. I shouldn't click on this one because it's for the same reason I can't make fun of it, but we can listen, we'll make fun of the non-disabled person. We'll make fun of the non-disabled person. It's okay. Am I the ass for using a disabled person for my own benefit? I'm going to say it sounds like yes. It sounds like maybe yes. I don't know how you could... This is really what I want to know, right? I want to know how you could possibly spin this into being a no. Actually, you're the angel for using a disabled person for your own benefit. I don't know. Is it just like... You know, I drive my grandmother to the store so that we can park in the disabled parking? Is it like that? I think that's okay. So I, 18 female, took ASL lessons in high school, but up until now I've never had a deaf friend. This year I started college and there's a deaf-mute person in my class. He uses an interpreter during lessons. Everyone has been nice to him, but no one really tried to get to know him or actually befriend him, so he wasn't very close with anyone. I'm not judging them for that. Had I not already taken ASL in high school, I probably wouldn't have learned just for him either. But after I told him I knew some ASL and started signing with him, we naturally got close. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if people know what, like, being intimate with another human being is, if you can only speak some ASL because you learned it in high school. Maybe they know more ASL than I thought. Maybe they do. Maybe. Since September, I've been signing with him almost daily, and my signing has gotten so much better. Anyway, about a week ago, he suggested that I start taking ASL lessons again, and I joked, "That's what you're for." It was absolutely a joke, like I laughed right after I signed it, but maybe my signing was off. He took it seriously and got offended. I apologized and explained it was just a joke. He said he understood and even apologized for getting upset in the first place. He acted a bit distant for a couple days more, but eventually got over it, and we're completely fine now. Okay, everything's good. But today, one of my other friends told me that he said he noticed Nolan and I had been a bit distant lately and asked if everything was alright. I told him we had a little fight, but don't worry, we're completely fine now. Okay, okay. How old are you guys? You're 18, okay. This makes sense why it's just, you know, petty drama. But for some reason, he wouldn't let it go. First, he made jokes like, "There's some truth in every joke," which I laughed off. But then he said something like, "I knew you wouldn't hang out with a guy like him for no reason." Excuse me? I told him that was such a rude thing to say, and he said it was the truth. I called him out for being a bigot, asshole, and an ableist, which I guess got under his skin because he snapped back at me and said I'm not one to talk, that I'm worse than him, and that I'm taking advantage of a disabled guy and using him for my own benefit. People said this person's the asshole? She didn't do anything. She made a bad joke. She made a joke that landed poorly. Who amongst us hasn't? If you're a funny person, you're always gonna make a joke that lands poorly sometimes. This person's... You said this poor young lady is an asshole? This child? Why? Tell me why. Okay, sounds as if perhaps large parts of your conversations consist of learning to sign better. Okay, with no ill intent on your side, but probably a lot of, "So how do you sign this? Oh, thanks, I was saying, I don't know the sign for whatever." I hate the ways they type this out. He seems to be tired of that and probably just wants some relaxed chatting without having to be in teacher mode all the time, so he suggested you start taking lessons again to shift the constant teaching from your conversations. And when you said that's what you were for, he got understandably pissed that you only seem to be interested in the part of your interactions that he is not enjoying. I don't think that's... I think that she was joking. I don't think that... I think that's joke. I think that's joke. The way you shut him down when he suggests you take more ASL classes. Oh, I don't have to take ASL classes! Okay, I already took ASL classes. I'm the asshole for not learning a new language? Your friend probably just wants to get you to get better at ASL so that he can talk to you more easily about different subjects, but instead you laughed his suggestion off and made a joke at his expense. If you're not interested in taking another class because you don't think there's anything helpful that's readily available, or if you just don't have time right now, or there's some other good reason, you should explain to your friend what you're thinking. That's true, that's true. But be prepared for him to feel like not a priority for you afterwards, if being able to talk to him better really isn't a priority or interest of yours. I mean, I guess that's true. I think it is asking a lot of somebody, like if I told somebody specifically, like, oh, you have to learn how to speak, you know, this very specific language that is spoken by, like, less than 2 million people. You've got to learn this if you want to talk to me. Makes me wonder if OP has been spewing microaggressions here and there. Like, I don't know, probably. Also, I just realized I should probably move chat up a little bit. Anyway, take me to a different one. This lady didn't do anything wrong. I don't think that she has to take ASL. It's true, my big-ass ears are in the way. For my reaction upon learning details of my sister-in-law's divorce settlement. Who cares? Boring. For calling out my neighbor for neglecting to keep her kids off my property. For calling out my neighbor... You're 21 years old and you're already, like, get off my lawn territory? Yeah, sure, let's read this one. Okay. I was gonna say, you sound like the asshole. If you're... I just needed to know that you're 21 years old. You're too young to be doing this. You're supposed to be cool when you're 21, dude. Throw some parties. Make some noise. Get the police called on you. What's wrong with you? For context, I, 21 female, have been living in my home for close to 18 years. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Let me do the math on this. Okay, so you moved there when you were 3. So presumably you didn't move in alone. You're with your parents. Presumably. I don't know. Maybe in some countries you're allowed to be your own legal guardian at age 3, but I'm just making a guess here. My neighbors moved in about 14 years ago. Okay. 4 years after you did. At the beginning, peaceful... Okay, hold on. And it was, at the beginning, peaceful between us. However, about 8 years ago, this is a long-standing feud, by the way, my family and I noticed a strange plant growing in backyard when changing out the screen windows for storm windows that fall. Is this like a creepypasta or something? Is this a no sleep? They planted a strange plant. It was the tree from Charisma. It grew and it turned into a vile mass of mucus and flesh and sinew. Naturally, my family called the police. Naturally. Because marijuana was illegal in my state at that time. And we're just the biggest fucking narcs on planet Earth, apparently. We saw a strange plant growing, so we called the cops. So already you're the asshole. I just need you to know that. And he was arrested for it and was released about a month later. Since then, it has been downhill with conflict between him and my father, who was only trying to protect his daughters from an, at the time, illegal substance. You're trying to protect your daughters from a marijuana plant? What's the marijuana plant gonna do? Did it have a gun? Now to the property issue. I mean, you're terrible. You're terrible. You and your entire family are terrible. And I can tell you exactly who your father voted for in every election up and back till Nixon. Now to the property issue. About 2 years ago, the empty lot beside my house was up for sale and my landlord purchased it and attached it to my property. Excuse me? Can you do that? With strict rules that no other kids except my sisters and I could play up there. Reason being, he didn't want the neighborhood kids causing any damage to the home or end up getting injured on the property. Naturally, he also didn't want us or himself to be held responsible for any injuries acquired. For the last couple of years, my next-door neighbors let their kids play up on the property, and every time getting told by either me or my father to stay off our property, even to the point of involving the landlord and or city police or new... Of course, you call the police on the kids. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Well, yesterday it was the same as always. The kids playing on our property, my father this time asking them to get off our property and getting the I didn't know from the kids. Kids start mouthing off when they're told that they've been told every year since the lot became ours. The mother pipes in with her own choice words, and the kids start punting their football into her house. I'm trying to work in my studio at this time and starting to get irritated with the punting and running of their mouths, so I head out and rather calmly ask to speak to their mother about the situation and try and convince them to see it from the landlord's perspective. Don't worry, Mr. Landlord, you still got shooters out here. This 21-year-old young Republican is on your side, don't you worry. They're out here to protect your property that you're working so diligently and hard for. You still got shooters. The discussion was brief, and when I thought that she had understood, she starts running her mouth claiming that kids won't get hurt or damage the property, and that's when they start needing to fight the urge to cuss her out. I also don't know if this is real or not. Like, why do the kids want to play up on this property so badly? I mean, I guess this takes place in the South where there's nothing to do. I tell her of, presumably, the numerous times that the kids have kicked or thrown a ball against the house and explain that kids will be kids, and that they are prone to injury. Having been a very clumsily injury-prone kid myself, she continues to argue, and this is where I let her have it. I call the police. I call her out for not enforcing the strict instructions that even the police have backed us up on, and sitting on her porch smoking weed or fighting with her husband, which can be heard throughout the neighborhood, instead of enforcing a simple rule to stay off our property. This person hates weed. Like, listen, I'm not like chat will tell you that I hate weed, but in that I'm like the second that drugs become involved, I turn into like a cop. This is not true. This is the person they think that I am. This is incredible. This is ridiculous. All I've ever said is I don't like being around people that smoke weed because they kind of get annoying sometimes. That's all I've ever said. I'm not calling the cops on people for smoking weed and trying to get Reddit to hate them by saying, oh, all you do is sit on the porch and smoke marijuana, unlike me, who's a 21-year-old young Republican, and I'm running for the vice president seat in my young Republicans group. Yes, I know, women are not allowed to be the president. That's why I said the vice president. Come on, dude. Anyway, we don't need to read the comments. I'm surprised that Reddit said they're the asshole, though, because Reddit hates women. So check, we want to be angry at this mother for smoking marijuana, because we hate women. And they hate children. So check, we want to, we want to throw these children into a volcano. And check, they also love landlords. These are three things of, for some reason, this post was designed to make you agree with this person. They knew their audience, and then somehow the audience was taken over by reasonable people and said, no, you're crazy. Let's see what the top comment is. Landlord is an ass for not fencing off that lot if it's lawsuit's liability he's worried about. True. I don't know that you're the asshole, but I did just offer up my grateful thanks to the patron saint of neighborhoods that I don't live anywhere near you. Okay. Maybe these people are realizing this is just a very annoying neighbor, and that's why they said you're the asshole. Turning them in for a single pot plant on their own property was an asshole thing to do. They don't like your family, and that's entirely because your dad did what he did. As for the yard encroachment, that's none of your business. You don't own the property. If your landlord wants to enforce no trespassing on them, that's for them to deal with. Your whole family seems to exist merely to make sure other people obey the rules. Their entire family is cops. I've said it. But I thought Reddit loves cops. What's happening in this? Why do you speak like you're the head of the household? You aren't even the landlord. You're just a peasant. You're just a serf. You just work the property. Your father is an ass for calling about a weed plant. Absolutely true, but it sounds like this 20-year-old young Republican doesn't realize that, because she also is like, I hate this woman that lives next to me because I've seen her smoking marijuana at least one time. The weed has nothing to do with the kids playing on the property or the kicking the ball against your rented home. The fact that you mentioned that they can't smoke it in their own damn property also makes you an asshole. Your dad is an asshole for sticking his neck into other people's business. He wasn't only trying to protect his daughters, he was trying to be a jerk. Yes, that's true. I would give your whole family... I mean, I would... If we lived in a perfect world, their whole family would be in, a boarding school learning how to be decent human beings. This whole family they were born to be cops. You're the asshole. Am I the asshole for wanting to travel without my partner? Yeah. Yeah, you're the asshole. Also, my partner has EDS. Erectile dysfunction? Wait, what is EDS? Is it not erectile dysfunction? Because it says my partner has EDS, and both her and our kid are level 1 autists. What is that? Whatever. Never mind. I don't care. Am I the asshole for shouting at my husband for letting my sister-in-law take our baby out without telling me? You shouldn't be shouting at your husband. You guys are a team. Am I the asshole for telling my son it's okay that if he sucks at music? You're the asshole, unfortunately. You can't just say, you know, like, listen, Jeff, you don't suck at music. Let me get this straight right off the bat. Just let me let you know. You don't suck at music. But if you did suck at music, it wouldn't really be so terrible. It wouldn't really... There's your son. Encourage them. Don't tell them they fucking suck at something that they're passionate about. Yes, you're the asshole. Hold on. What did Reddit say, though? No assholes. Okay. Yeah, we hate kids. He does suck, apparently. Never lie to your child, even if it's to preserve their feelings and their self-worth. We practice radical honesty on reddit.com. Am I the ass for asking my mom to hurry up with deciding if she needs my $1,200 or not? Who cares? Am I the ass for taking a shower every day at 7:30? You're the asshole for taking a shower every day, period, on reddit.com, so I don't even need to read that one. Am I the asshole for giving my daughter her Christmas present early? No. Wait, 20-month-year-old toddler? How could you possibly be an asshole for giving a 20-month-year-old toddler... 20-month-year-old? A 20-month-old toddler a Christmas present early? They don't even know what's going on. They don't know what Christmas is. They're not even going to have memories until they're like 4 years old. Am I the ass for leaving the toilet seat up in a co-ed public restroom? Yes, but it also doesn't matter that much. Am I the asshole for moving first to a new line? Are you talking about cocaine? By the way, I was at the ER earlier today, chat. I think I mentioned that briefly. It wasn't for me. But I was privy to a conversation that somebody was having where they said they went back into a room and they saw the doctor and like 4 other nurses like doing lines on a patient. And like, I don't know. I assume they mean they're like running the vitals, but the first thing that pops into my head is that like these 5 people in like medical gowns are gathered around somebody laying in a patient laying in a hospital bed, and they've just laid out a bunch of lines of cocaine on him, and they're taking turns snorting cocaine off of this patient's body. That's probably not what they mean. But who knows? Not me. Am I the ass for not saying thank you when a parent returned my son's lunchbox? Why wouldn't you say thank you? I mean, I guess they're just an asshole. I guess that's... Would I be the asshole if I tell my daughter she has to move if she can't follow my house rules? Nope. Reddit always says your house, your rules. It doesn't even... She has been smoking Zaza a lot. Okay. Am I the asshole for snitching on my class to save myself and friends? Let's hear. Let's see this one. I kind of hate reading posts by teenagers because they're all remarkably stupid, but I want to know what the class did. You got me. You wrote a successful headline. Strawberry shortcake. Okay, so this all started... Well, am I the asshole for snitching on my class to save myself and friends? My immediate thought is, yeah, you're an asshole for snitching, but we'll see. So this all started when our teacher was out and we had a substitute. The sub basically didn't give any instructions or control the class. It turned into complete chaos. People were yelling, prank calling others, chasing each other around, and even fighting over money. Chairs were moving, people were running around, and nobody could focus. It was honestly kind of scary and stressful to be in the middle of it. Afterward, I emailed my teacher, let's call her Mrs. A for Mrs. Asshole, to tell her what happened because it felt like someone needed to say something. I was careful not to throw my friends under the bus. I actually made sure to mention who wasn't causing trouble so they wouldn't get blamed. Mrs. A responded really kindly and said that she'd handle it tactfully and wouldn't mention any names. I thought it would just stay between us. That's crazy. You're such a narc that you, like, email your teacher? Why do you have your teacher's email, first off, in, like, high school? But you email your teacher and say, like, hey, just so you know, like, Johnny, Cynthia, Rafe, and, like, 12 other people. These are the names. You're like George Orwell, dude. You're giving up names of suspected communists to the British government. How are you not the asshole? You're giving out specific names? I don't even know how, but now everyone knows that I was the one who emailed her. Maybe you're just, like, voted most likely to be class narc? Class cop? Maybe you're destined to join the Young Republicans Club at your local university with the other woman who hates marijuana? Even people who weren't in that class have heard about it. Someone must have told someone else, and now it's like half the school knows. Well, you reap what you sow. You did this to yourself. Now a bunch of my classmates are giving me dirty looks because I fucking suck. Whispering and even passing me notes asking why I snitched. It's awful because I didn't even say anything mean. All I did was snitch. You could just tell them why you snitched. I don't even know if you know why you snitched. I was just being honest about what happened, and again, I made sure to protect my friends from getting dragged into it. I mean, okay, I think that's worse. If you're just protecting yourself and your friends and throwing everyone else under the bus. It's gotten so bad that I emailed my counselor. Why do you have emails of everyone in your school? What's going on here? I feel like this is not how it's supposed to happen. Mrs. M asking if I could switch classes just so I don't have to deal with this tension anymore. While I was in the middle of writing that email, I got another email from 7 of my other teachers. One of the people from the class, we'll call her Purple, randomly emailed, kids, I don't believe it. This has to be like an 80-year-old or something. You're pretending to be a child, right? Why would kids be emailing other kids? This can't be real. What are you talking about? You're emailing each other. You guys don't have WhatsApp? I don't know what kids use. Don't you guys use TikTok? And why is it... I mean, okay, at least they're acknowledging that it's weird to get an email from their classmate. Now I feel like I did the right thing for the wrong reasons. Like, I tried to help, but somehow I became the villain. So Reddit, am I the ass for telling the truth about what happened in class, even though now everyone thinks I'm a snitch? Okay, so, like, I'm the asshole, but I got a role very recently. I got the role very... Oh, okay, hold on. I'm also the TA. What do you mean you're the TA? But I got the role very recently, and my teacher told me not to say nothing right now. So, like, nobody knows I have that role. What's happening at this high school? What do you mean you're the TA, but nobody knows, and don't tell anyone? Are you having a psychotic break? You're emailing your teachers and your counselor, and you're getting an email from Mrs. Purple? One of your classmates? What's happening here? This is crazy. This is not normal. I refuse to believe that this is how high schoolers behave in the modern day. I would be less surprised to receive a telegram in Morse code in high school than to receive an email. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Take a look at this one, chat. Take a look at this one. Not the asshole. What happened in class should not have happened. That sub was total shit. This is true. It's good you reported it to so the school will not use them again. That's not what they did. What they did was they emailed their teacher and said, you know, Jamie and Stephanie and Tiffany were all being disruptive in class. Can you kill them for me? And the teacher said, yes, of course. Anything for you, my beautiful TA. Also, don't tell anyone you're my TA. What's happening at the school? As for all the classmates that are giving you dirty looks, tell them you guys were lucky no one got hurt that day. If someone had, I'm sure you wouldn't just be in the office in trouble. You'd probably have some shiny cuffs on you to boot. You're gonna threaten that these high schoolers are gonna get arrested for being disruptive in class? What's wrong with you people? You did the right thing. Also, would you like to join the Young Republicans Club at my university once you graduate in 4 years? I made sure to protect my friends. This makes it sound like they were misbehaving too, but you left them, period, out of the email, period. That makes you a bit of an asshole. Why was it okay for them to not get in trouble? How is this person not the asshole? How are they not? I'm a teacher, and if this was my class, I would want to know, since I wouldn't trust a sub with that little control over the class to give me an honest account of the day. I also would have said a passing staff member told me of the chaos to protect you, but I've been doing this a long time. Ignore your classmates, new drama will come. They're just mad they got busted, behaving like monsters. That's true. By the way, I'm a teacher. Teacher here. Unless you're a university student, I doubt you're an actual TA. See, this is what I'm saying. There's no such thing as a TA, and also, what do you mean? It's a secret. Don't tell... Like, I think this user might be being groomed by their teacher. Like, you're my special little TA, but don't tell anyone. It's our little secret. And they're, like, emailing back and forth, and the student is like, you know, I thought it was just between me and Mrs. H, or whatever her name is. Mrs. A, Mrs. Asshole. This is something messed up is going on here, man. This is not normal. This is not normal. You just wanted to feel important, and the fact that you let your friends off tells me you don't care about the behavior, just that you want to feel superior. The sub always reports to the teacher. Tell me you're not a teacher. The only non-teacher in the comments, of course, is the only one that has any clarity here. Okay, crazy. Crazy that people did not realize this person's an asshole. They love cops. Am I the asshole? Mom kicked me out at age 22 with no place to move into and got mad at me that I didn't take simple pictures. Who cares? Am I the asshole for refusing to praise my friend for buying a skirt? Okay. I'm gonna assume that this is something to do with gender conformity or gender nonconformity, and that this person is being an asshole for no reason. Okay, let's see. Am I the asshole for not praising my friend for buying a skirt? This happened last night over text. The conversation is over, but I'm still annoyed. My friend has decided to dress up as a goth girl for a Halloween party. For this, he has bought a skirt, a plain black skirt. He sent me a picture. I replied saying it looked short because it looked short. He said it was supposed to be short and that later he wasn't actually... And then later that it wasn't actually short and only a few centimeters above the knees. Okay, so what's the point of this? He then got annoyed with me focusing on details, what I consider the only noteworthy thing about the skirt, instead of being impressed with him for buying a skirt, because he does not wear skirts. He still won't, it's just a costume, that I'm sure he won't rely on sexist stereotypes, not a self-expression milestone, and made it insecure and he needed to express his masculinity to go into the women's section. Okay, I don't know. This is stupid. It's not a worthwhile post. I'm sorry for having clicked on it. Am I the ass for not letting my partner pick the restaurant because she always picked the fancy one? I mean, if you don't want to go to a fancy restaurant, this is the way to do it. I don't know, you don't have to, like, phrase it as, like, you know, no, we're not going to the fancy restaurant. What if you were just like, I've got an idea, let's go to McDonald's? You know, you could, like, you know, we could phrase it in a way that's... Or, you know, you could be like, okay, so where would you rather go? Burger King or McDonald's? You know, and then it's like you're trying to help, you know, you're giving them choices to places where we might be able to go. Am I the ass for not being fluid enough for Halloween? Who cares? Am I the ass for not letting a man I barely know borrow my clothes after he came to my place after a Halloween party? Who cares? Am I the ass for confronting my coworker after doing her a favor that I would not have done if I was given full context? Who cares? Am I the asshole 16-year-old's party request? Who cares? Am I the ass for canceling on not old friend's wedding and not wanting to pay a fee? No, you shouldn't have to pay to not go to a wedding. That sounds like extortion. Am I the ass for not wanting to pay my friend $2,000 for watching my cat? Hi, I-26 female was deployed for 6 months. You're the asshole. You should pay all of us $2,000 for your crimes against humanity. Am I the asshole for having my friend's toddler take her first steps while her parents weren't there? I don't think it's like your decision. I think the child walks when it walks. You know? I don't think... Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, when the kid, like, stands up, do you have to, like, go over and, like, grab him and, like, put him back on the ground and say, like, no, not while I'm... Not on my watch, you're not. Not on my watch. Am I the ass for not wanting to share an office with my wife? I mean... I'm sure they love each other, but, you know, working in the same office is probably... It probably has some inconveniences. Am I the ass for throwing out someone's college coursework? Am I the ass for asking my boyfriend to stay with me until the end of our pedicure instead of leaving halfway through to get exercise? I don't know. My mind started wandering because I'm like, this sounds like somebody that has ADHD. This, like, I don't want to sit here. Am I the ass for telling my wife to be quiet? Yep. You need to sit your white ass down and listen, buddy. Am I the asshole for wanting only the roommates to hold keys to our house? Nope. Am I the ass for drinking twice a week? Yup. Am I the ass for asking why a coworker wears makeup every day? Yup. Am I the asshole in-laws giving me money for a car? Nope. Am I the ass for infantilizing my roommate? Yup. Am I the ass for not wanting to pay my opiate addict mom $400 rent? Is it relevant? If she wasn't opiate addicted, would you pay? I don't care. Am I the ass for walking to the subway with my friend after a concert despite previously agreeing to share an Uber with her on our way home? Yes. I think that she was probably relying on you being in the Uber with her because she didn't feel safe. Not, you know, taking the Uber alone. I think you're the asshole, yeah. You guys plan to take an Uber, just take the fucking Uber. Am I the ass for ruining my mom's Halloween costume? Yeah, you know what? Let's read this one. What's the costume? How'd you ruin it? Am I the ass for ruining my mom's Halloween costume? Yes. I'm gonna assume yes. For context, my brother is throwing a party for Halloween in about a week or two. He does this yearly and asks everyone to be in costume if they can. It's not a requirement. Yesterday, my mom, sister, and me were talking about what we'd all be going as. My mom then said that her and her boyfriend would be going as Superman and Supergirl. She asked us what we thought about it, then I told her how it wouldn't be a good idea since Superman and Supergirl are cousins. That's pretty good. Okay. I mean, that is true. Superman and Supergirl are cousins. I told her she could be Catwoman and Batman, but then she got upset and said she didn't want to since they were that last year. No, I want to be... They can be cousins, you know. Maybe... There's two options. Either, you know, on Halloween night, we roleplay cousins instead of, you know, romantic partners, or we roleplay incestuous superheroes. There's the two options. You can choose which one you like, okay? But you can still go with Superman and Supergirl. Why not? After that, she basically ignored me for a bit. My mother stopped talking. My mother went non-contact because I informed her about the familial relationship between Supergirl and Superman. Also, Supergirl is a lesbian, so it's kind of problematic, Mother, for you to try and erase that part of her identity. After that, she basically ignored me for a bit and went upstairs, and when I asked her what was wrong, she told me that I was being a hater! Mom called me a hater. Hey Reddit, am I the hater? And ruined her costume, then said she shouldn't even go to the party because of me. What the hell? Are you and your mom both like 13? I told her that she was overreacting a bit since she hadn't bought the costumes yet and still had time to choose what to be. And she could still go as Supergirl. Maybe her boyfriend can go as, Supergirl's girlfriend. I don't remember who she's... I don't remember who she's in a romantic relationship with. It's another lady, though. I've seen it. I again recommended Batman and Catwoman because they hadn't gone as them for my brother's party last year, but she still turned it down because she posted photos of them on her Snap story during Halloween. I told her she could still be them because I doubted anyone remembered or just not go in costumes since it wasn't required, but she told me to leave her room because I was an idiot. And she then said that reusing costumes was cheap and ghetto. What is happening? I mean... Okay, but what's more cheaper and ghetto? Reusing costumes or going as incestuous superfamily? Make your choice, okay? I tried talking to her today, but she's mostly ignored me, and I learned she told my aunt about how I ruined her plans for the party. She saved you from having to be incestuous. I didn't think I was in the wrong, but now a lot of my cousins think I am, even after I told them the full story. They're gonna crucify this poor... I don't know, a daughter, I assume, for having the audacity to know something about Superman lore. I mean, honestly, it's pretty bad to know something about Superman lore, but maybe they saw the movie. It was a pretty good movie. Everyone sucks here. You're fussing over the familiar relationship. She didn't fuss about it. She just said that, did you know they're related? It's not, who cares? You guys sound excruciating. OP didn't do anything. OP's only crime is knowing about Superman. OP's only crime is knowing who Supergirl is, dude. They didn't do anything. Everyone sounds like a child. That is what I said. That is what Plorp said as well. I think everyone's in agreement about that. What late 40-year-old posts to her Snap story and then says she can't rewear a costume because she posted it to the Snap story? I do agree that this is like middle-aged people are doing this sort of thing now. They are acting like teenagers online. How is OP the problem here? They pointed something out and their mom threw a tantrum. Reddit being Reddit. Yeah, they just hate... They hate children and they hate women, so they especially hate young girls who know about Supergirl. Okay, that's crazy. No, OP is not the asshole for knowing about Supergirl. That's insane. What do I do? Am I the asshole for not going to an English-speaking church when my mom was in town? Who cares? My wife came home upset because she was hungry and I didn't have a meal prepared. It's like the reverse 50s, dude. Am I the asshole if I send my ex-family member a screenshot of my scholarship to school? Am I the asshole for having to leave my granddaughter's birthday party? Okay, you're an old lady? Why are you posting on Reddit? I have to know what's wrong with you. It's also one paragraph. My first and Reddit says you're the asshole. I mean, why did you have to... Let me try and make some guesses. Why'd you have to leave your granddaughter's birthday party? Did she wish... Like, you know, like, oh, blow out the candles, granddaughter who's like 4 years old, and she like wished for peace on Earth, and grandma's like, actually, she doesn't understand the geopolitical reasons why the United States has to bomb Venezuela. She doesn't know. I'm so pissed, I gotta get out of here. My first granddaughter's birthday party was Saturday. I have always had and will always have severe social anxiety. Are you allowed to have social anxiety if you're a grandparent? I don't think you should be allowed. I think at that point, like, you're being too selfish. Like, you've had your time. You're supposed to have social anxiety when you're my age, when you're young. Now you're too old. You just have to suck it up, okay? The world isn't made for you. It's just there, and it's awful. It was halfway through the party, and I thought I was going to pass out, so I left to take the medication that I left at my daughter's house, and I couldn't get back up. What? What do you mean you couldn't get back up? Okay, you know what they're saying? They said they popped some Xans, and they passed out. That's what they're saying. Okay, so you got high on Xans. That's fine. Grandma has to go and take her meds right now, sweetie. Don't bother her for the next, 26 hours. I couldn't go to the second half of her party. I'd like that there's an intermission in the party. How old is this granddaughter? This isn't the first time I've had to leave a social engagement to go take drugs. And my daughter has given me an ultimatum of either being there and dealing with the anxiety or don't be there at all. I feel broken, lost, and unloved. Just want to know if I'm also the asshole. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm in the worst moments of my life. I feel broken, lost, and unloved. I also want to know if I'm also... I just want to know if I'm also the asshole. And Reddit's like, yup, you know what you should do. Find the closest, tallest building and do the right thing, Grandma. Find the closest, tallest building and do the right thing. Make sure you pop a Xan first. Sorry, but you're the asshole. You're old. Sorry, but you're old. As a person with my own isolating anxiety, I get it, but you leaving your medication at a second location, thereby requiring you to leave the house completely just to take your pills, that's you actively choosing not to be a part of it. That's something that someone does when they want to be there. This is a known issue that you've chosen not to deal with. That also affects you as those around you. What's the problem if Grandma goes to the party for like 30 minutes and then leaves 30 minutes early? Who cares? Who cares? It's just a dumb birthday party. Who fucking cares, dude? You know how it's affected your daughter and it's now affecting your granddaughter. You have meds that you seem to know don't work, but you seem to know don't work. What do you mean they don't work? But you haven't gotten something else. It doesn't sound like you're really trying to deal with your issues and expecting everyone else to put up with them. I get it's not your fault or completely under your control, but you need to make more of an effort. Either show up or don't, but stop half-assing it. Why? What's wrong with this? Is it better to, isn't it better to show up for some of the event and then leave early? Why do I have to stay all fucking night just because my granddaughter turned 4? Who fucking cares, dude? Why does it matter? No 3-year-old wants a private, quiet, anxiety-free for you birthday. They're 3 years old. They don't care if Grandma leaves 45 minutes early. It doesn't matter. Why do people think this matters? I'm really curious what the medication is. It's Xans. I have the feeling that this has been a pattern. Yeah, maybe. But why do I have to be there all day? I just want to show up and, daughter, granddaughter, I give you two of my best regards. I'll be going now. I'm just showing up to say hello. I don't have to be here, to bounce in the bouncy castle. I'm 84 years old. Your daughter's ultimatum is pretty reasonable, says the most insane person you can find on the most insane website you can find. Leaving halfway through is hurtful to the child? I think the child would probably rather you leave halfway through than not show up. Let me just state that. I think the child prefers them to be there for at least a little bit. And OP would have an excuse to leave the party. You're just mad that you don't have an excuse to leave this 3-year-old party that no one wants to fucking go to anyway, because they're fucking 3 years old and nothing's happening. You people are ridiculous. Would I be the asshole if I refused to pick my daughter up from school? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. You're just gonna leave her there? Am I the asshole for being mad at my mom for putting our dog down? No, that's fucked up. Now let's keep going. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to cancel our anniversary trip to Everest? Yup. You're the asshole. That's a pretty big one. Tallest mountain on the planet, actually. The biggest one. Am I the asshole for causing a scene at my in-laws' anniversary dinner over my brother-in-law's racist comments? Oh, fuck. Well, your brother-in-law's the asshole for being racist at their in-laws' anniversary dinner, okay? They're the ones that caused the scene. You didn't cause the scene. Am I the asshole for revealing that the baby shower surprise had already been ruined? Am I the asshole for having different expectations for my daughters? Okay, let's read this one. Am I the asshole for having different expectations for my daughters? So, the thing that my mind jumps to is like, you know, my favorite daughter, I expect her, the only expectation I have for her out of life is to be happy. I just want her to be happy, no matter what that means. It doesn't matter if it means she's dead at age 23, you know, strung out on meth, found in a ditch. I just want her to be happy. And my other daughter needs to be a lawyer and a doctor. Like, that's where my mind goes, okay? But maybe that's not what it is. And am I the asshole for having different expectations for my daughters? Personally, no. Like, logically and realistically and honestly and maybe objectively, yes. Yes, you should probably treat your daughters the same, no matter what. You know, you should love them both and want the best for both of them. But I understand having a favorite. Believe me, I understand having a favorite. I'm the type of motherfucker that would have a favorite daughter. I have two daughters, Maya, 27, and Eva, 23. Maya got an associate's degree in child development, music education, and psychology, and lawyer and doctor, and takes classes part-time in special education and school administration to get extra certifications. Eva completed nursing school a few months ago. They both live at home to save money. Okay. You know, it sounds like they're both doing a really good job. These are two very well-rounded and you know, ambitious people. Honestly, I think Maya's more ambitious because can I tell you? Nursing is a very important job. Nursing is a very important job. It's also a job that you do when you don't know what you want to do with your life. Sorry, it's just the truth. Maya works a minimum of 50 hours a week. She's nanny to a single mom that works as a nurse, so 1 week she works from... Okay, I don't want to take notes of this. She also teaches ballet and music classes at a couple local schools. When she works back-to-back shifts at her nanny job, she tends to sleep there so she doesn't have to leave the house by 5:30. Eva is burnt out from nursing school, so she only works 20 hours a week at a clinic. She works from 9 to 1, then goes home. She's considering quitting altogether and going back to school for cosmetology. Let's go! I told you, chat. Nursing school is what you go to when you don't know what you want to do with your life. And then once you realize you don't want to be a nurse, then you have to go back and start all over again. Since Maya works so much, if she starts a load of laundry before work, my wife and I have no problem transferring it to the dryer and folding it for her. Since Ava only works part-time, she's expected to be responsible for her own laundry. You're really making a post about laundry? That's what this post is about? After we have to get 4 paragraphs in before you tell me that this is just a post about whether I should do my daughter's laundry or not? Another difference in expectations is with pet care. Maya is not expected to walk or feed the dogs, a Chihuahua mix and what my kids call the mud of all nuts, and a cat. Eva is expected to do so 3 days a week. Eva is also the one who asked for one of the dogs and the cat. What can you say about this? I don't know. Nothing, I guess. Who cares is how I feel about this. Maya works, what, 50 hours a week? That's a lot. That's too much. She works too much. And I'm not saying, you know, that she has to quit her jobs or whatever. I'm just saying that no one should have to work 50 hours a week. It's a ridiculous expectation. We also tend to do more favors for Maya, dropping off a meal at her work, picking up... Okay, so we just treat Maya better. That's okay, I guess. We love Maya. Ava, you know, she's okay. She's alright. She's okay, I guess. Especially on the days that she comes home from a 15-hour shift and the day she comes back to back shifts. Today, we reminded Ava to take her clothes out of the dryer before she goes out. She has a habit of starting the washing machine and dryer before going out with friends for hours overnight. And she said that we do Maya's laundry, so we shouldn't have a problem doing hers too. Okay, that's too far. Does she really have to take her clothes out of the dryer, though? Like, I don't know. I let my clothes sit in the dryer. It's not like, you know, if no one's going to be using the dryer before I use it again next, like, what's the problem? Maybe they want to use the dryer. Maybe. It's different doing it for a sister who works 15 hours a day and doing it for her when she's just going out with friends. Yeah, get a job, you loser. Who hangs out with their friends? Now she's mad about favoritism because Maya doesn't take care of the pets or pay her car insurance. She uses her car for work, so her boss covers her insurance. My wife always had a habit of giving in to her, so now she's saying we should be harder on Maya because if Ava can handle these responsibilities, so can she. I still think that it's understandable to help the daughter that is working 15 hours a day plus 20-30 minutes commute, but not feel that the one who works 20 hours a week needs the same level of help. Hold on, wait. How's she working 15 hours a day? And working 50 hours a week. She works like 3 days out of the week? She works 15-hour days? She has 4 days off a week? Maybe she should be walking the dog. She has 4 days off? Two adults have different needs. That's where I'm at. Honestly, I don't care. Who cares? Stupid. Emma, they asked for not taking more pictures of my sister-in-law on a trip abroad. Emma, they asked for refusing to drop my kids off to their dads. Am I the jerk for making my kid a priority over my brother's kids? I don't like... the problem, Chad, is that when I say AITA, you know, am I the asshole? I keep saying asshole, which is a curse word. And so at the beginning of a YouTube video, if I make it, I have to bleep it out a whole bunch because I don't like it. I mean, the problem's not with this or with me. The problem's with, you know, the scrubbing of our public spaces so that they're advertiser friendly at all times, so that you're not allowed to say anything that could ever potentially offend, you know, the most annoying person on planet Earth, so that we can sell them products better. So it's not, you know, it's capitalism's fault, as always. Am I the asshole for smoking cigarettes in my garage? Yarp. You're an asshole for smoking cigarettes, period. Am I the asshole for wanting to go to my friend's wedding without my wife? Yup. You're a team. Am I the asshole for mansplaining? Yup. Am I the asshole for renting movies without permission? Okay, I kind of hate this one because this is an adult. 48-year-old woman forgot to ask permission from a 54-year-old husband to watch movies. That's crazy. Am I the ass for ordering weird things in delivery to embarrass my mother-in-law? Am I the asshole for filling a police report for my girlfriend selling my iPad? Yes, you're the asshole for narking on your girlfriend. I think you guys are broken up now, by the way. If you call the police on your partner, I think that's kind of the final straw in the relationship. Am I the ass for unintentionally waking up my husband while feeding baby? What were you feeding him? Like live goats or something? Am I the ass for forcing my stepson to get a license? Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to pay me back after she broke my gaming headset? How expensive could your gaming headset be? Ah, fuck, they're lesbians. I can't even just rag on and say this is a loser boy. She's a lady. Okay, so I, 25 female, have a gaming headset that I use pretty much daily. It wasn't super high-end, but it wasn't cheap. Okay. That's all of us, man. Oh, okay, that is kind of a super... Reddit never sides with the men? That's not true. Reddit hates women. I saved up for it and it cost around $120. I would say that might... I mean, it's not a super high-end, but that's a pretty expensive headset, okay? $120? I feel like the one I'm wearing right now is like $20. I use it for gaming, work calls, and just general stuff. Last week, my girlfriend, 23, was hanging out at my apartment. She sat down on my desk chair without realizing the headset was on it, and when she sat, she basically crushed one of the ear cups. That's not her fault! It snapped the plastic part, and now it doesn't sit right on my head, plus the mic doesn't work anymore. I wasn't mad in the moment, because accidents happen. Okay, that's big of you. I don't think that she, you know... that she destroyed your headset with her ass on purpose. If she did, you know... could be a little, you know, we could turn that into some bedroom roleplay, I'm sure. Like, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It is $120 though. Oh. I wasn't mad in the moment. Yeah. Damn, that's broken now. I'm gonna need to get a new one. She laughed it off and said, you'll get an upgrade. I kind of awkwardly asked if she'd be willing to split the cost or at least help replace it since it was her mistake. She immediately got defensive and said, "Are you serious?" I mean, that's a good point. Like, she didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. I'm not paying for that. You're being ridiculous. I said I didn't think it was ridiculous. If I accidentally broke something of hers, I'd absolutely offer to replace it. She rolled her eyes and told me I care too much about stuff. Okay, listen, she's 23, okay? She's still young. You're also young. You're 25. But you're less young. You give her like a little bit of a break. She doesn't know. She doesn't realize that $120 is a lot of money yet. Since then, she's been distant, and one of our mutual friends even told me I should just let it go because it's not worth fighting over. But it's not pocket change to me, and it just feels unfair. It is unfair, but that's life, man. Don't you think it's unfair for her to have to pay for a new headset for you as well? Any answer in this situation is going to be unfair. No one's happy about it, you know? It's going to be unfair one way or the other. So am I the ass for asking her to help pay for the headset she broke even though it was an accident? You're not the asshole for asking for help. I don't think that she should pay for the full headset. If she picked up the headset and said like, "Hey, girlfriend who I love, my lover, the person who I cherish most in this world, watch this," and snapped your headset in half, then I think, you know, you'd be right to say, like, buy me a new headset. And if she said no, I think we'd have a problem, you know? Girlfriend should definitely help fix it. I think that's true. But, like, asking for the entire sale price of it, I think that's too far. I mean, it's an awkward situation, too, because if you do it, if you accidentally break something of someone's, you should be the first person that says, like, "Hey, I'm really sorry, this was an accident. Let me know if I can, like, help you, you know, if I could pitch in some money to pay for it." You know, that should, I don't know. I would feel obligated to say that, right? And then you cross your fingers and pray to every god above that they say, like, "No, it's okay. It was just an asshole. Sorry, it was just an accident. A Freudian slip. It was just an accident. You don't have to worry about it." Maybe they maybe they go easy on you because you were upfront and just said, like, "I'll help you. I'll pitch in." You know? Because then you put the onus on them. The ball was in your court. You toss it back at them, and now they have to decide whether they press it or not, you know? And a lot of the times, I think the person, you know, if they're like, you know, if they're given the opportunity, like, "Oh, I'll pitch in," you know, then the polite and, like, the etiquette of it is to then say, like, "No, you don't need to pitch in. Don't even worry about it," you know? I think that if I was the 23-year-old girlfriend, that's what I would do. I would, you know, pick a god and pray and say, like, "Oh, I'll help pitch in." And then hopefully my girlfriend, you know, takes that as to mean, you know, "Look at how good of a person I am. You know, I'm just a little guy. You really wouldn't make me pay, would you? You wouldn't make me pay, especially after I offered to. I'm so kind. I'm so nice. I'm so good." You know? But you probably should pay a little bit. $120? And I can understand being the 23-year-old girlfriend, by the way, and being like, you only love me for my money. You know, I can understand having that feeling in the moment where it's like, really? You want to start a fight up with me over, you know, a gaming headset? Like, I could understand being offended by that, you know? Like, I don't think it's reasonable, but I can understand. I think that it could have been me. You know, I could be that person that's like, really? You care more about this headset than me? And the answer is probably no. You know, I don't care more about the headset than you, but I do care about the headset because it did cost $120. I don't know, I can put myself in the... I more easily put myself, chat, in the position of the 23-year-old girlfriend than the 25-year-old gamer girlfriend. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm... I feel like I'm more likely to be the sitter than the gamer. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but... so the question is, am I the asshole for asking her to help pay for the headset she broke, even though it was an accident? You are not the asshole, but I understand why she would be offended. You're not the asshole, but I understand why she's offended. No assholes here. It's one of the only times that no one's done anything wrong. It was just an accident. It's just an unfortunate accident, and now everyone's mad. I don't want to read the comments, because I think the comments are going to be horrible. Let's read the top one. All these people commenting really just sit down without looking at the chair first? Yeah! What do you think's in the chair? You think there's gonna be like a snake in the chair that attacks you or something? That's 100% on her for not looking? You people are crazy! You guys live in the caves! If there's some huge backlash for a reasonable ask that is not a good sign for the relationship, I'd be annoyed if a friend or loved one refused to help replace what they destroyed. She didn't... It was an accident! But for them to get upset at the ask would be even more annoying. You don't understand! You don't understand! These people are young and emotional. I'm young and emotional. I understand them. Everyone sucks here. Don't leave things that shouldn't be sat on places where people sit. You sit down anywhere before inspecting the seat? Yes. Brother, I will jump head first into bed before inspecting it. I will throw myself onto a couch without inspecting it. Yes, I will. I will sit before inspecting the seat. I'm not afraid of landmines. I don't encounter them in my daily life. Not the asshole. She sat on your thing and broke it. She should have looked where she was sitting. Sure, you know, if we could go back in time, I think that she probably would have checked the seat first. It was an accident, but she doesn't seem sorry that it happened at all. Why, I mean, she didn't do it on purpose. Why should she be sorry? She didn't do it on purpose. Not to imply it was on purpose. That's what you're implying! But if I broke someone's headphones, I'd at least offer to pay for part of it. Yes, that's normal. That's normal. But, like, why is everyone saying, like, it's her fault? It was an accident. She left her expensive headset in the chair. I don't do that. Why would you do that? You have a desk. Where do you put it when you're not using it? You just always have it sitting in your chair? I doubt it. I doubt it. I hang mine on the edge of my desk. I have there's like a little hook. And this person's wearing a $120 gaming headset. I've just got a $20 gaming headset. You know, they have somewhere where they can put it. That's not their chair. And still, I don't think they're the asshole. I don't think anyone here is the asshole. I think they love each other, and I think that's beautiful. Am I the ass for calling my best friend a fat fuck? Yeah? Am I the ass for yelling at my 2-year-old daughter? Sorry, I had to read it slowly so I could go fix the music. 2-year-old nephew for inappropriate behavior and making him cry. Yep. I think it's really hard for the 2-year-old to be the asshole in this situation. Would I be the asshole if I throw out my grandmother's poop dish? Nope. Am I the ass for working past midnight in my dorm? Yup. Am I the ass for exposing my hub's half-naked Abercrombie & Fitch job? I don't know. Am I the ass for laughing and telling my friend that it was pretty funny that her friend got arrested? I mean, no, you're not the asshole. It probably was pretty funny, to be honest. Am I the ass for wanting to tell my boyfriend's mom that her son has been stealing from my business? Am I the ass for scolding my son after he argued about wearing shoes on a plane? What? Okay, I'll read it. Am I the ass for scolding my son after he argued about wearing shoes on a plane? So I thought it meant that he wanted to wear shoes on the plane, and his mom was like, "No, take your shoes off now," you know, gun emoji. But it seems, I did read the first sentence, and it seems like that's not the case. I think that you might be the asshole, but let's read the full thing. So here's what happened. We're about to get on a plane, and I asked my son to please wear normal shoes instead of his usual flip-flops. Why? Listen, I'm not like a flip-flops defender. I don't wear flip-flops. But like, who cares? Like, you know, does the mom think that the son's gonna be driving the plane? Because I know people say that, like, you shouldn't drive in flip-flops, you know? Like, does she think that the son is gonna be piloting the plane? He started arguing like it was the end of the world. Well, why do you think it's the end of the world that he wears flip-flops? You're the one that started the argument. Saying it doesn't matter what he wears and that I'm overreacting. That's true. That's a fact. I got kind of mad and ended up scolding him, maybe more than I should have. Yes, you did. What's wrong? He's wearing shoes. They're just weird. Now I'm sitting here thinking, ... For the first time in my life, I'm starting to have a thought. Did I overreact, or was it just a normal thing to ask? You overreacted. If you have to ask yourself, like, did I overreact? I think you already know you overreacted. I don't think you need to hear it from Redditors. It's not like I was asking him to wear a tuxedo or something, just shoes so it's safe and a bit more comfortable on the plane. Safe? She really thinks he's driving the plane, dude. Or that he's gonna be, like, lifting... That he's, like, going to a construction zone or something. I don't know if these people have ever been on a plane. I just don't know if I'm being too harsh or if he's being unreasonable. 0 upvotes. Okay. Not enough info? I suspect there was enough info. I suspect that this person, given they have 0 upvotes, that this person might be the asshole. Okay, I like that. Exactly what I'm gonna say, not the asshole in this case? Okay, I mean, I didn't read it, chat, but the first comment says, you know, like, well, if the plane gets into an accident and crashes into the middle of a mountainside, your son's gonna wish that he wasn't wearing flip-flops because his feet could get injured. He should be wearing steel-toed boots in the events in the case of 9/11. And I don't know. I think you guys are crazy. I think that if I'm gonna be in a plane crash, the last thing that I'm gonna be concerned about is what shoes I'm wearing. Am I the asshole for kicking my brother-in-law out of his house? Yarp. Am I the asshole for saying I don't want alcohol at our wedding because I don't like how his family acts when they drink? Narp. Am I the asshole for calling my mom an idiot after she ignored my advice about co-signing a loan? I don't know what that means. Am I the asshole for how I reacted to my ex saying he was giving up his cat? Nope, that sucks. He shouldn't be giving up his cat. Am I the asshole for asking my roommate's girlfriend to wipe the microwave after using a heating pad? I don't understand it. Am I the asshole for keeping my cat even though my roommate's boyfriend is allergic? No. The cat came first. Am I the asshole service dog had to act like it's in public? What? Service dog had to act like it's in public. I don't understand the question, so I'm skipping it. Am I the asshole for forcing my boyfriend to go to a wedding with me? Nope. Would I be the asshole if I called out my stepsister for ignoring my fiance's cancer situation? Yeah, no, you wouldn't. No, I misread it. No. Am I the asshole for using my aunt's personal employee discount code to buy clothes? Nope. Give me all the discount codes you can. I don't care what the rules are about them. Just don't tell anyone. Am I the asshole for telling a kid to shut up on the plane? Yeah. I think in general, you should probably try and be nice to kids, you know. And if you must ask them to be quiet, you probably shouldn't shut up, you know. It's probably... Am I the asshole for being insensitive about menstruation? Am I the asshole? 2 old women at a restaurant falsely accused me and my dad of filming and harassing them. That sounds like they're the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to tell my boyfriend when I put my phone away during a chat? No. I'm a 28-year-old man and my boyfriend is 20. Okay, well, jail, I think. Unfortunately for you, I think it's jail. I think the question isn't, am I the asshole? It's, you know, am I the felon? What are you doing dating a little baby like that, dude? Grow up. Well, maybe don't grow up, because if you grow up and they stay the same age, this is going to be an even bigger problem. Am I the ass for wanting my girlfriend to pay back money I loaned her? Am I the ass for choosing to spend time with my half-sister instead of with my family that keeps excluding her? Nope. You sound cool. Am I the ass for pushing back on my nutrition professor's assignments? I don't know. I don't care. Am I the asshole for brushing off fiance's car struggles? Yup. If the question is ever like, am I the asshole for being mean to the person I love most on this planet? The answer is yes. You should try and be nice to the person you love most on this planet, I think. Am I the asshole for paying off my daughter's student loans but not giving the same amount to her brother who didn't go to university? No. Who cares? Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my parents' rent? No. Airplane backpack overhead? No. For refusing to have my sister-in-law's service dog at my wedding? Okay, I think you might be an asshole if you tell your sister-in-law they can't bring their service dog. I don't even want to know what the service dog is for. Like, if it's for, like, if they're blind or whether they just have, like, anxiety. It doesn't matter. It's a service dog. Just let them bring their service dog. Oh my gosh, it's to warn... It's in case she has a seizure. Yes, you're super the asshole. She has to keep her seizure dog. What's wrong with you? Am I the jerk for chiding an elderly man for not following a local etiquette? Who cares? Am I the ass for missing my girlfriend's minor surgery for an important business trip? Yeah. Your business trip can wait. Like, why, like... You're still gonna have your job, right? Like, you're not the CEO. You're paid a salary. Just tell them you have an emergency. Am I the ass for being too real with my little sister? Let's see. Am I the ass for being too real with my little sister? I'm gonna say yeah. I think that sometimes... I think that maybe children should be protected from some information. How old is she? I, 22 female, told my 14 female sister some information about her deceased father, and now her mom is mad at me. My sister's dad passed away last year, and she was recently asking me some questions about him. To be more specific, she wanted to know why her mom and him had a falling out in 2016. I proceeded to tell her the truth, which was rather unpleasant and painted him in an unflattering light. The information involved him trying to meet up with people on Craigslist to engage in sex acts behind the local Play It Again sports. Okay, I mean, this is very specific. Probably more specific than you need to be on Reddit. Upon hearing what I had divulged, my mother told me she was disappointed in me and told me there was no excuse for telling my little sister the nasty details. I mean, it is, you know... It is very specific. The meet it behind the Play It Again sports? How do you even know that? It's the next day now and she is still upset with me. Am I the ass for telling my sister the truth? Just apologize. It doesn't matter if you're the asshole or not. Who cares? Even if your mother is overreacting, like, just apologize and tell her, like, I was just trying to... You know, I was just trying to be honest with my little sister. I didn't know that it was going to be, like, a contentious issue. You know, I didn't realize it was going to be a problem. I didn't think. I'm sorry. I think your mother will probably understand, you know? It's not like you're trying to intentionally traumatize your sister or something. At the time, my sister was 12, but just recently turned 14 in August. Okay, so I'm confused. Did this happen years ago, or did it happen yesterday? Because you said it's the next day now. I guess her dad died 2 years ago? Okay. My dad passed away last year. Okay, I have no idea. Since some people were confused, my sister's dad died in 2024. I had told her about this shortly after his death. She turned 13 in 2024. Recently, we were fighting about something in front of our mom when she brought it up that I had told her that our mom didn't know it about until now. No, you're not the asshole, but Reddit says you are. Why? You're the asshole. It's not your place to tell a 14-year-old details about her father's sex life and her parents' relationship issues. Why? When she asked you about it, you should have told her to talk to her mom. Maybe, but like, why? What were you hoping to accomplish by sharing this information? I don't know. I'm 23. Stop treating me like I'm an academic scholar. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking. I just say things. You're the asshole. No need for that level of detail. The most you should have told her was that he was unfaithful, and honestly, that's best left to your mom. Why? You did not do it for her own good. Why? How do you know? I don't always do things for the good of other people. Sometimes I just do things, not to their detriment. I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm just, like, she's like, oh, what happened? Tell me something about your father, about our father. And like the first thing that comes to my head is, yeah, he cheated on mom with 12 werewolves behind the sorry, what was it? The Play It Again Sports downtown. I don't know, it was just the first thing that came to my mind. She's not the asshole. You guys are crazy. Am I the asshole for ordering expensive meals when I eat out with my family? Supergirl and Superman? Am I the asshole for drawing an ugly portrait of someone who passed away? No? Like, I don't know, is it an ugly portrait because you're bad at art? Or is it an ugly portrait because that person was ugly? I do think that if it's an ugly person that died, and you're trying to make art of them, that you do have to, like, Photoshop them up a little bit. You do have to give them a little bit of a glow up. For context, this happened a few years ago during my second last year of high school. I recently shared this story with my friends at university, and they argued over whether I was in the wrong, which is why I'm posting this. In my second last year of high school, a girl in our grade passed away. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. That's too far. This is a child. A child died. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like, grandma who's 84 passed away, and I drew an ugly drawing of her. That's different than, a girl who's 14 died. Like, that's fucked up, dude. She was terminally ill, and the school did a short assembly speech and a memorial was set up. Admittedly, I was not that close with her. We were acquainted and spoke occasionally, but we weren't close friends per se. On the day before her memorial, I drew a portrait of her and brought it to school. I noticed that in the area set aside for her memorial, there were some framed photographs of her as well as portraits drawn by her friends. To be clear, I was not even planning on sharing my portrait to begin with. I intended to see if other people were sharing portraits first, since I didn't want to overstep. I would also say that I am a good artist. I had a reputation as the class artist. Okay. Sure. Don't worry, everyone. Everyone thought I was super cool and very talented. When I placed my portrait next to the other portraits drawn of her, one of her friends came up and told me that my drawing wasn't welcome. Now I'm wondering what happened. Did you put like a swastika on her forehead or something? I was confused since I saw that there were other portraits, but I realized that they were all drawn only by her closer circle of friends. I was also told that my drawing was so ugly that it had to have been on purpose to mock her. Multiple people mocked my drawing. What I don't understand is that even if my drawing was ugly, that was obviously never the intention. I made the drawing to commemorate her, and she had no right to disrespect me so openly. We're talking about a dead child here. Maybe we don't need to make it about ourselves. Even if she were a close friend of hers, she didn't have any right to decide whose artwork could or could not be placed on the memorial. I think she did. No, at the beginning they said that they were telling the story to their friends at university, and their friends couldn't decide whether they're an asshole or not. Edit. This was years ago. I do not have the drawing or any images of the drawing. I do remember that it was a pencil drawing done on a sheet of paper. All the other drawings at the memorial were also pencil drawings. Thank you for all your comments. I just wanted to clarify a few things for those who have been asking. Yes, I was grieving. You do not have to be close friends to feel the emotional impact of their death. Secondly, I only mentioned that I was the class artist to corroborate the fact that I am not a bad artist, and so I was singled out for not being in the friend group. My motivation was the same as everyone else. Thirdly, this was an open memorial. People brought all kinds of things, chocolates, pencils they may have borrowed from her, random things like that. That's interesting, just like returning things that you kept. The only people to bring down drawn portraits were I and some of her closer friends. Yeah, you're the asshole. Like, if the people closest to her are like, please don't do this, you can't be like, don't tell me what to do. You're the asshole at that point, when, like, you're not an asshole for drawing her. That's not the problem. That's fine. But it's, it's the entitlement where you, like, want to make it about yourself. When, like, a child died. Okay, the Redditor actually understands exactly what I'm saying. You didn't draw the portrait to mock her. True. But you did make a girl's tragic early demise about you. That's pretty bad. It's not about you, dude. And even years later, you're making this moment about you. Her friends likely felt that you were encroaching on this moment. They lashed at you in grief, which isn't fair, but they were children who had just lost a friend. You should let this one go. That's 100% correct. It's the first time I've seen, like, a level-headed Redditor in the wild. There's some things that you just, not everything you don't have to be the main character in every story. Some stories are not about you. Am I the ass for telling my sisters I want to plan my own baby shower? Nope. Am I the ass for using a grocery plastic bag to hold my used period products? That's pretty gross. I think you might be the asshole. I think you might be. That's pretty gross. What are you keeping them for? Trophies? Am I the ass for not telling my neighbor I'm having a fence installed? Yup. It is partially their property as well. Am I the ass for filing a police report on a good friend who was caught on video stealing my boyfriend's camera at a dinner? She has refused to help me either replace it in full or contribute to the cost of replacing it. You shouldn't... I don't think you're good friends if you call the police on someone. I think you only call the police on your enemies. The police are like... soldiers, basically. You're the asshole. Am I the ass for not allowing my father to bowl for free? I don't know. Okay, am I the ass for not allowing my father to bowl for free? So, chat, I did read the first line. It turns out that the father bought a bowling alley and then gave it to their daughter or son. And now the father wants to... It seems like the father now wants to show up and be like, hey, I know that I don't run the place, but, like, let me bowl all day for the rest of my life for free. And the son or daughter is like, I don't really want to. I don't care enough about it. Am I the asshole if I tell my son's stepmother she can't go to a mother-son dinner? Yup. Am I the asshole for taking too long in the shower as a man? Yup. Am I the asshole for ordering an alcohol on a double date? Yup. Am I the asshole for asking to babysit my sister-in-law's 31-year-old baby daughter? I think the 31-year-old can take care of themselves. Am I the asshole for calling the dorm advisor on my roommate? Yup. Am I the ass for calling my husband an effing a-hole? Yup. You guys are supposed to be in love. Am I the ass for making my uncle leave my wedding early? Nope, it's your wedding. And your uncle is probably the asshole. Am I the ass for holding a grudge that I was uninvited to my boyfriend's mother's funeral? Okay, don't make this one about you. His mother died, okay? I'm sorry, but I think you might be the asshole. Like, it's fucked up you were uninvited, but his mother did die. Am I the ass for lashing out about not getting any birthday presents? Yup. Am I the ass for asking a woman about a dog in her car? Hold on. Anyway, am I the ass for asking a woman about a dog in her car? It's okay to leave a dog in a hot car. The Beatles said that. And I believe him. Okay, let's see. Emily asks for asking a woman about a dog in her car. No. I'm gonna say no. Like, it sounds like you're trying to care about the well-being of the dog, right? Before I went to work today, I stopped and got a snack at a grocery store. I was just about to pull out of my parking space when I saw a woman pull up in a spot diagonal to me. She parked poorly, but that's beside the point. Don't worry, I'm doing my best to try and get you guys to hate this woman too. With saw two small dogs in the passenger seat. It looked like she was starting to walk towards the store entrance, so I got out and asked her if she was leaving her dogs in the car. The exchange went something like this, not verbatim. Excuse me? It's hot outside. Are you kidding me? I think you should mind your own business. I'm sorry, I care about animals and I just want to make sure you didn't leave them. You think I don't care about my animals? Wow, you really should mind your own business. And yes, I am taking my dogs. Have a great day. It was just a lot of mind your own business and said in a very rude way. If I were in her shoes, I'd probably respond with something like, thank you for your concern, but of course I'm bringing them in with me, or something similar, unless I had someone else in the car with me and the AC was on and they were just staging. I live in New England and the temperature got up to 67 degrees and lots of however it is. Most people don't on a cool day, the cars can get especially hot in the sun, especially if it is, so I'm not the asshole. I was just walking toward the store and she no longer right next to her car. Was I too quick to judge and presume? She was about 10 feet away from her car, facing and walking toward the entrance. She probably was not taking her dogs until you got on her case. Anyway, who cares? It sounds like you bullied some lady into not leaving her dogs in a hot car. Which is probably good. Am I the ass for letting my dogs pee outside? I think that's where they're supposed to pee. I think it'd be worse if they peed inside. Am I the ass for not buying a new car? Nope. Am I the ass for leaving... Sorry, they're screaming. Am I the ass for leaving my drunk friend behind when I was also drunk? So I, 18 female, went to Carnival. Am I the ass for not wanting to get any gifts for my birthday Christmas? Nope. Am I the asshole? I made my sculpture wrong, so I walked out of class. Am I the asshole telling my mom off for buying my 2-year-old McDonald's on the way home without asking? Your mother shouldn't be buying your 2-year-old McDonald's. But I feel like this could be settled with a conversation. Am I the ass for asking my adult stepson to stop playing a video game on his phone at a restaurant during a birthday lunch? Whose birthday? It was a birthday lunch for my daughter. And I invited my bonus children? What the fuck does that mean? Hold on, I'm gonna click on this one just because I need to learn what bonus children are. What does that mean? Okay, am I asked the adult stepson to stop playing a video game on his phone at a restaurant during a birthday lunch? I think you might be the asshole. I don't know, like, who cares? Let him be on his phone, is what I think. Well, let's see. What's the context? Recently, I hosted a birthday lunch for my daughter, 16, and invited my bonus children. I don't know what that means. Are they, like, they're children you found? My found family? 23-year-old female and 27-year-old male, along with my husband. Towards the end of the meal and before dessert, my husband left the table to go to the restroom. This incident happened while my husband was away from the table. So you got angry at this 27-year-old kid for getting on their phone in the time that your husband was in the restroom? So like less than 3 minutes probably? The 27-year-old male started playing some sort of car racing video game on his phone using both hands and gesturing wildly at the table while we were trying to order the birthday dessert. Okay, now I'm imagining they're playing like it's The Sims, and you know how The Sims, they when they're like playing on their phone, they're like zipping all these different directions, you know, like whoa, woohoo, wow, whoa, a boodle boomba, you know, like okay, that might be too much. I asked him if he was playing a video game, and when he said yes, I told him that it was inappropriate to do that during a meal in a restaurant, especially in a small birthday celebration. He put the phone down and sat stone-faced at the table, staring away from the rest of us until my husband returned. When my husband asked him if he was on his phone, since he was still holding it under the table, he said no, that would be inappropriate. Then he announced he was leaving and stormed out of the restaurant without saying goodbye to anyone. Now my husband is angry at me for making his son feel bad. But why did you put feel in quotation marks? Clearly the son feels bad. I believe I was correct in asking him to change his behavior. 27-year-old male. Why do you keep telling us he's male? Did send a text the next day apologizing, and I accepted his apologize, and I also told him I was sorry if I hurt his feelings. I explained that we see them so infrequently, we want to spend time with them and not on screens. My husband is still mad, and I don't think I was wrong. I mean, chat, yins know that I think she's wrong. Like, I'm of the opinion, like, who cares, really? Also, to clarify, neither of the bonus kids... What are bonus kids? Neither of them have a job or go to school. They spend their days at their mom's house playing video games and phone scrolling, so they may not know any better. Okay, so this is just to make people hate them, you know? Hey, Reddit, I don't like my bonus children. Whatever the fuck that means. And I want you to dislike them too. Get a hobby. You should learn how to play video games at dinner. Then, so you wouldn't be making this r/am I the asshole post at dinner. It depends. Am I the asshole for saying my mom's views are stupid? No, because they probably are stupid. Moms love to have stupid views. What are they? Today is my 21 female 3rd anniversary with my boyfriend, 22 male. This is not about him, sort of. He is working far away today until late, so we couldn't meet for dinner or even ice cream today, which was unfortunate. Is that... Okay, I thought about ordering a little chocolate box or something sweet to his house that he can wait as a surprise when he comes home, with a little note about the anniversary or something. In the afternoon, I was talking with my mom on her phone about something, and then she asked what we are planning for the anniversary. I explained to her that we can't meet and that I plan to send him something nice. She then said that I absolutely should not do that, and the man is the one that should put in more effort in the relationship than the woman, and that my boyfriend should be doing more for me, which he does, I just don't tell her about everything in our relationship. That makes sense. She kept rambling about it for a few minutes, which made me feel a bit bad since I was the one with the idea to order something for him. I stopped her and told her that I'm sorry, but I think this ideology is silly, and that both people in the relationship should put in the same amount of effort, otherwise it's not fair to the other person and will probably not result in a happy relationship. She got a bit quiet and then said, okay, and then only answered in short answers before hanging up. Now she came back home, I still live here, and she's pouty and kind of ignoring talking to me. Some parents are like children, I think. This is silly. This is a very silly thing to be upset about. Sorry for rephrasing. My first language is not English. I checked, and a more accurate translation would be silly. So I can't change the title, but I updated the post. For those asking, yes, I do pay rent. Yes, my boyfriend already planned something for us on the weekend. I don't know what it is, though. He said it's a surprise. I will apologize to my mom for the way I phrased it. I guess I felt attacked by her words and tone, but I shouldn't have been rude. I will not apologize for having a different opinion, though. Okay. At least they said she's not the asshole. Even if it does seem like they were giving her shit. Am I the ass for rehoming my boyfriend's cats? Yes, definitely. Am I the ass for taking a restroom key from someone leaving the restroom rather than waiting for them to deposit the key back in the store? No. Am I the ass for yelling at my family, including my 87-year-old grandfather, and telling them to shut the heck up before leaving the country with my wife and kid? Okay, I have to know what would warrant this. I mean, I have to say not the asshole because I assume they did something pretty bad if you're yelling at your entire family. I'm 33, married with a toddler and another baby on the way. We came to stay with my family in France for 3 months. Oh, your family's French? No, not the asshole. They need to be yelled at. Partly to get support during the pregnancy, partly to say goodbye before relocating to Asia, Cambodia, or somewhere else. We don't even know, I guess. Just somewhere in Asia. We'll find out when we get there. We've been here for a month and things are going downhill fast. My wife is kind and had a rough childhood. My wife is kind and had a rough childhood with narcissistic mom and emotionally absent dad. She values emotional safety more than anything. I tend to keep everything inside until I blow up. My family? Well-meaning but exhausting. My mom constantly comments on our parenting. Bibs, tantrums, naps, food, even though I've asked her several times to stop. Okay, that's fucking annoying. Your mom's the asshole for this alone. I don't think that you have, like... I think that you have the right to critique someone else's parenting, but when they get mad at you, you can't be surprised. My 87-year-old grandfather makes rude remarks without realizing. Recently, he said my wife's mom should be locked in a cage because she spends all the money while my dad works at 70 with cancer. Okay, that's pretty fucked up. I would yell at 87-year-old grandpa for that. My dad tries to help by criticizing me and saying I'm unstable because I don't have a house and a regular 9-to-5 job. I freelance. I support my family. We've always rented. Okay, your family hates you. Why are you guys hanging out with these people? None of these people like either of you. My little brother stays silent. His fiancée vents to my wife about how toxic the atmosphere is, but never says anything in front of the family. My wife finally broke down. She cried alone in our room. I tried to keep it cool, but couldn't. That day, after one more comment from my grandpa and another passive jab from my mom, I snapped. I told everyone to shut up, that they were ruining everything, that no one could breathe around them, that even my brother's fiancé and my wife talk about how unbearable it is. I said we all walk on eggshells and it's making us mentally drained. My grandmother looked heartbroken. I almost got into a fight with my mom's husband when he got in my face. Now I feel like I destroyed everything. I'm the only one who exploded, so I look like the problem. My brother stays quiet and keeps the peace. I tell truth and now I'm the villain. I'm on his side. I hate this family. My wife supports me but says I still care too much about how they feel. And she's right, I do, because I don't think they're bad people. I disagree. I think they might be bad people. They're just emotionally clumsy. They gave me what they could. They're not cruel, just intense and clueless, but my wife sees them as beyond repair. I agree with your wife. I think you should... I mean, you're already escaping the country. Would it be so terrible to... leave the gas burner on tonight or something? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said anything. I tried talking to my mom. She's sad, says she doesn't understand why it's this bad. Yeah, she doesn't understand why she sucks so much. A lot of people don't. If they realized how shitty they were, they probably wouldn't be shitty in the first place. They lack no self-control, or they lack any self-control, and they have no capacity for introspection about their own misdeeds. Brings up how much my grandparents helped us, but she won't talk directly to my wife, only through me, and my wife won't even hear her name now. Honestly, in my perfect world, we'd all sit down, talk openly, set boundaries, apologize, and leave with peace, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. I think they should give my perfect world a consideration. Am I the ass for snapping? Am I the ass for still hoping we can fix at least a little bit of this before leaving? Your wife is... You have to side with your wife against your family. I'm sorry. You do. I'm not sorry. I'm very unapologetically saying that you need to side with your wife against your family, not only because she's right, but also because she's your wife. But she is right. Feel like I'm losing both sides and no one even sees it. Yep. I don't want to read what Reddit has to say about this, because Reddit hates wives. Am I the ass for asking my aunt to move her daughter's bathtub? I mean... I don't know, my bathtub's like bolted into the floor. I don't think you'd be an asshole for asking me to move the bathtub. I think you'd be asking me to do the impossible, though. I would have to be able to rip it out of the floor. Am I the asshole refusing to give up my cat? No. Would I be the asshole if I don't attend my friend's wedding? Yeah. Am I the asshole? I made my daughter, 11, cry during D&D. Oh, I think we read this one. Am I the asshole for giving up on my roommate's cat for adoption? Yes. Would I be the asshole if I didn't go to my mother-in-law's boyfriend's funeral? I don't know what that means. Would I be the asshole if I go to my childhood friend's private elopement without my fiancé? Yup. Am I the asshole for requiring my sister to reimburse me and for telling my family not to give her money to do so? Yeah. Okay, I think we've... I guess we read... I guess we did Cringe Court 2 months ago, because we've I recognize 2 of these. Yeah, okay, we did read these ones. Which means, you know what that means? It means I'm gonna do one more, and then call it, because I just saw that it's past midnight. But I'm not gonna do it from Am I the Asshole Filtered? I'm just gonna go straight to the horse's ass. I'm gonna go to Am I the Asshole? I'm gonna go to Am I the Asshole, and we'll just find a fresh one. And then call it after we do one fresh one. So what do we got on the main subreddit? Am I the ass for telling friends and family I'm broke when they need money? Nope. Am I the ass for letting my stepdaughter's mom stay in our guest suite and not my sister? My stepdaughter's... Okay, hold on. Am I the ass for letting my stepdaughter's mom stay in our guest suite and not in my sister? No. Why would you be the asshole? It sounds like you're doing a nice thing for the mother of your daughter? Am I the ass for not wanting to take my wife's ex's kids on family vacation? For not wanting to take my wife's ex's kids on family vacation. Yes, I think that your wife's kids are your kids. So yes, I think you're the asshole. Am I the ass for testing how prepared my husband is for our baby? Uh-oh. Did you, like, toss him a sack of potatoes and say, "Think fast, it's a child!" And then, like, he dropped him or something? Now you're pissed at him for dropping the potato sack? Am I the ass for not letting my fiance's family crash over at my house? Nope. Am I the ass for denying my coworker lunch? Nope. Well, I don't know. Are you the only one that can give them lunch? And you're just saying, like, nah, no lunch for you. Go back to work. Am I the ass for telling my dad's girlfriend to leave when my friends are over? I don't want to read this. Am I the ass for getting upset that my partner is making me give up my sports car because she can't drive a manual transmission? I think you're allowed to get upset, but also, like... who cares? Am I the ass for wanting my house and peace back after letting my mother-in-law stay temporarily? No. Mother-in-laws are annoying. Am I the ass for lying to my parents that I am having my periods to avoid a religious ceremony? Nope. Am I the ass for moving into a house my boyfriend owns if it means his disabled aunt has to move out? Yeah, I think you're probably the asshole for kicking out his disabled aunt, but you know. I don't know what to say. I think you probably are the asshole, yeah. Am I the ass for asking my husband to limit his time with his nephews because our daughters are missing out? Am I the ass for telling my brother indirectly that his fiancée is batshit crazy after she demanded that he sells his new car because of a flat tire? Am I the ass for telling my recently divorced sister to stop moping and get a job? Okay, yep. I'm being a villain. Yes, I think that you may be the villain in this story. And you have some self-awareness to know that you are. Am I the asshole? I wanted some Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes to myself. Am I the ass for refusing to do my sister-in-law's laundry? Am I the ass for taking off my shirt in the changing rooms? I don't want to read that one. It's about a 15-year-old getting undressed. I don't think that's for me to... I don't think this is... I'm staying in my lane on this one. Am I the ass for not acting excited enough when opening my birthday gifts? Would I be the ass for expecting a little leniency from a corner store I frequent? No, you wouldn't be. Am I the ass for being upset that my husband spends so much time on his hobbies when we have 2 little kids? Am I the ass for not getting my family? Am I the asshole for getting upset that my husband watches the Fox Can't Read broadcast 1 time a week? Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. PST? Yeah, the kids can watch it too. 2 years old and 4 years old? I mean, they might not get it, but you know. Am I the asshole for not getting my family what was on their Christmas list? Am I the asshole for ignoring my friend when she starts acting like a victim and implying that we bully her because of her weight? Marriage is cool. I like marriage. Am I the ass for letting a girl... I thought that said drown. Hey Reddit, I committed manslaughter. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for letting a girl down gently in front of my girlfriend? Am I the asshole for going to the same park that me and my ex used to go to for yoga? No. Am I the asshole for reporting a coworker for a Title IX confidentiality breach? Yep. Am I the asshole for not being financially understanding? Who cares? Am I the asshole for wanting to spend a Christmas Eve with my grandparents? Now I understand why we read Am I the asshole filtered, because all these suck. These are boring. Would I be the asshole if I don't want to FaceTime my in-laws on Christmas this year? Am I the asshole for not sharing notes? Am I the asshole for using a disabled person for my... Okay, we did read this one. Okay, we read this one. This sucks. I think we're just seeing... Now we've already seen ones that we've read. Am I the ass for telling my wife she's a bad partner? Yes. Am I the ass for texting my best friend forever condolences about a kid she was close with? Am I the ass for parking wherever... We did that one. Am I the ass for demanding my roommate pay for rent? Am I the ass for only interacting with my future mother-in-law when I'm forced to? Nope. Am I the ass for not helping a kid who fell off their bike? Am I the ass for not letting my wife invite today's dinner since we have financial problems and tomorrow is our anniversary? Am I the ass for not wanting to interact with my half-brother? Am I the ass for being upset that my sister, she asked her personal attendant to... I don't know, dude. I think all of these are bad. None of these are interesting. Am I the ass for constantly correcting my programming teacher and getting frustrated? Am I the ass for my feelings towards the dog? I'm gonna say yes. I don't know how it could possibly not be that you're the asshole. I don't know what this means, but I feel like none of it could ever be good. It was hard to come up with the subject of the post, but this is an issue that needs a lot of context. We have one dog that is super cute, sweet, great with the kids. I didn't want the dog in the first place, but I did end up adopting the dog after its husband sent me pictures every day for weeks after we had to put our dog down. We used to have 2, and then about a year apart from each other, we had to put them down. I love them, but I also know what I have capacity for. I didn't want to have to take care of the dog, but we ended up with it anyways. I told my husband it was his responsibility, and in the beginning it was fine. He took care of the dog for the most part of the first year or 2, but I was adamant I was not wanting to be responsible for the dog. I wanted to make it a rule with this dog to not have it sleep in the bed or on the couch. I just don't think it's sanitary to have a dog in the bed or the couch. Of course, my husband did it anyways, and eventually it was just something I let go. Then time has gone on, add another kid, busier at work, and no one takes care of the dog outside of feeding it. Terrible about making grooming appointments. Terrible about keeping up with the flea medications, etc. I mentioned the flea medication to my husband several times, and it was, I'll go get it, with an exasperated breath. Well, now the dog has fucking fleas! I told him, he said he would take care of it, and then today, this was yesterday, I discovered the fleas. I walked out after putting our kid to sleep with the dog on couch. Am I the asshole for wanting to lose my mind about it? Like, honestly, I want to quarantine the dog to being outside. It's cool weather this week, or in the garage with AC until he gets treated. But it's like I'm an asshole for suggesting it, not for wanting him to sleep or lay on the couch or the bed for wanting him at all. So tell me, peeps, am I the asshole? I don't know. This one is not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's interesting. Refusing to let my sister bring her ex. Angry at mom for letting the person who taken advantage of me stay. Jesus Christ. Am I the asshole for posting a song called Pussy Palace? See, these are so stupid. Sort by popular? I'm sorting by hot. I can sort by best, but for letting my stepdaughter's mom stay in her... Am I the ass for not wanting to take my wife's ex's kids? Those are your kids. Mine they for. I think we have no more. I think it might be a little I think that there aren't any good ones left. I think that we actually have to just quit. I don't think we get like one more good one. Okay, I do like Am I the Asshole for replacing pictures of my cousins with pictures of my dog. And I would say no, you're not the asshole. Okay, what is this one? Okay, maybe this one, maybe. Am I the asshole for being upset that my friend essentially called my mom a bad person for looking older than her age? Called her a bad person for looking old? I mean, I think it's reasonable to be upset, but also, like, not that upset. Your mom probably is old. The moms tend to be old. My friend, 18 female, came to my house for a spa day. As my mom was bringing us popcorn and face masks, my friend started talking about how she believes people's insides begin to match their outsides in middle and old age. Okay, that's kind of a crazy thing to say. Who did that? What am I drinking today? I'm drinking some cranberry juice. Here, you want to hear? I saw that the meter was going up that time, so I think that you actually could hear me. I think you actually could hear me drinking. Thank you for the hydrate, whoever it was. Unfortunately, I don't know who it is. I don't know why I don't know who it is. It doesn't. It's not showing up in my chat. A ghost did it, maybe? Anyway, thank you for the hydrate. But yeah, this is a crazy thing to say when, like, oh, thank you, Plurp. When you know, somebody, an old-looking person comes up, and the first thing you say is like, I think people look old because of evilness inside their bodies. Evil spirits that inhibit them. That's a crazy thing to say. She said wrinkles are from the result of frowning and holding your face in negative expressions, so if you look older than your age, it's typically due to living a life of negativity and hate. That's crazy. Right as my mom walked away, she asked me, how old is your mom? I asked her, and I answered, and she said, she looks much older. Her globular lines and age spots seem more like those of a woman in her 60s. I said, are you calling my mom a bitch because she has wrinkles? She said, no, that it's just an observation. I said my mom has survived several life-threatening illnesses in the past 10 years, which tends to affect her appearance, and that I find her comments disgusting. I mean, she didn't know that. There's no way for her to have known that. She said I need to calm down because it's not that deep and that it's hard being friends with me because I'm so reactive. Am I the ass for thinking she's calling my mom a bad person? Okay, this person sounds like they're not a good friend to you. Can I say that? They're even saying like, oh, it's hard to be friends with you because you react to things that I say. This is not a good friend. You're not the asshole. Your friend's an asshole. This sucks. This is not a good story. I'm calling it there. But yeah, we finished Silent Hill. That was cool. We finished Silent Hill and we did some Cringe Court. I think it was pretty good. And with that having been said, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening because it's been a wonderful time, and I hope you had a wonderful time yourself. We're doing it every Tuesday from now until the end of time. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Cranberry juice? Now until the end of time. So, but until then, I bid you all goodbye, and also, good night. Wait, what are we doing next Tuesday since we beat Silent Hill? Let's play Silent Hill 3. Let's play Silent Hill 3 next week. See you then. Goodbye. And also, good night. And also, bye. Call before